3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, Mystery Reading number 1146. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. If you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support in helping me reach 300 subscribers at this time, as well as your presence during this reading. So for somebody here, there is a message about how change, positive change, or maybe even negative change, starts with you. There's also a message connected to being the change you wish to see, or just recognizing your power in a situation for better or for worse. And it being connected to trusting that everything happens for a reason. That you're being called to recognize your power, the part that you play for a reason. You could have the potential to have a positive impact, or even negative. It really just depends on how you choose to move forward. It feels like no matter what you choose to do or say, you're going to have an impact. And so I personally think it's mindful, but you should be mindful about what kind of impact you want to have here, what decision and which words are going to allow you to have a positive kind of impact that you may want to have here. And I'm saying these messages because I saw the number 122 and 123. While just as I was about to start talking after I went silent. And 122 is about change starting with you. 123 is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. Moving into interpreting the number 1146 itself, there are two ones in this number, and the number one is about having trust and faith, grounding yourself in trust and faith. So that way you can see things more clearly, your intuition can become louder, and you feel more capable and more confident. Maybe when it comes to using your voice or taking some sort of action here. This can also be about having trust and faith. It can be in yourself, the universe, some sort of process. It feels like your intuition could be connecting with something greater than you, or deep within you. And maybe it will require you to use your strength, but regardless, having trust and having faith feel pretty important here, especially because there are two ones, as there have been for a little while in these readings. Moving on to the number 4. This number is connected to stability and ancestors. Your ancestors could be trying to communicate with you spiritually through readings, signs, your intuition. And as I always say, you don't have to know these past loved ones in this life. You don't have to have known them in this life. And they don't even have to be your grandparents or your great-grandparents or your great-great-grandparents. They can go as far back in history as it feels right. for you. I do believe that we are all connected. You know, I feel like we often think about, where did we start? You know, of course, you know, some religious people have the explanation of Adam and Eve. But who were the first two humans? You know? And even then, it's like, there's modern humans and different types of humans. It's crazy to me. It is pretty crazy. But if you are trying to create more stability within yourself by finding peace with something, or outside of yourself by letting go of someone or something that is disrupting your peace and your stability, just know that your ancestors, past loved ones, are supporting you through this. As I say in readings, sometimes I personally do believe that our ancestors collectively have been trying to connect with us for hundreds of thousands of years to help us focus on what really matters, which is creating stability and peace for ourselves, so that way we can create more peace and stability collectively. So there's an extra message here for somebody, that if you are healing or walking away from something that just isn't healthy for you, you can trust that the work that you're doing is bigger than you. You don't have to do some big grand thing to be the change that you wish to see. It's simply just take care of yourself in the way that you deserve, to encourage others to do the same. I think that's just the bare minimum that the universe asks from us, to hold ourselves accountable, to have a healthy relationship with ourselves, knowing that the relationship with ourselves will define the relationship that we have with other people and our reality. So it's important that we're honest and caring towards ourselves, so we can attract honest and caring people and situations, and even spread truth and warmth in this reality. So yeah, the message about being the change you wish to see, bigger than you, for sure. But like I said, it doesn't have to be some grand scheme or anything. It could just be a simple message here that the work that you're doing really does matter, both for you and for those around you, even if you don't even know these people. I like to remind people that whenever we have a positive impact on people, of course, whether we know them or not, that can ripple. Negativity can ripple in the same way too. So, just kind of feel like coming back to that message here about what kind of impact do you want to have, what kind of ripple do you want to create, a ripple of positivity that travels, or a ripple of negativity that travels and spreads as well. And I'm not talking about negativity in the sense of just feeling down and out. It's okay to be upset. I'm talking about just intentionally causing trouble and just being careless and reckless, you know, and hateful and hurtful towards other people. Let's go ahead and move on to the number 6. Why do I feel like I have done a reading for this number before? It doesn't necessarily feel like deja vu. But the last reading that I recorded was 1,145. Maybe in a reading I thought this number was significant for somebody, and then this could just be confirmation or a reminder that, yeah, this reading here is significant for you. I'm not sure, but the number 6 is encouragement for you to choose self-love and self-care, to have a healthy relationship with yourself instead of, you know, projecting hate or neglect or destruction towards yourself, your potential, your future, your relationships, anyone and anything that you are connected to, but first and foremost toward yourself, because like I said, the relationship that we have with ourselves will define the relationship that we have with anyone or anything outside of ourselves. The number 6 here really just reminds me of the devil card in tarot. 1 plus 5 is 6, and the devil card is really all about self-destruction, temptation, unhealthy attachments. And I feel like I just got a pretty clear confirmation here for you to let go of someone or something or many someones or many somethings that make you feel restricted, chained down like a slave, or just really unhappy. It really drains your energy, maybe even your hope and your faith. Yeah, it could really be messing with your head. It's just not good. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 4 is 6, and 6 plus 6 is 12. Maybe midnight could be a significant time for you, or even noon. I just felt connected to the word pomeriggio, which means afternoon in Italian, I believe. So somebody's ancestors are pointing to the significance of, the time between 12 p.m. and like 5 p.m. Maybe 6 p.m. for some reason. I don't know what time that is in 24-hour format. So I think it's 12 o'clock between, I don't even know. I'm American, I don't know. Just convert it if you feel called to. But with the number 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. And the number 3 is about expressing yourself, using your voice. Maybe there's something here that you want to share. Maybe your ancestors are pointing to an opportunity here for you to teach something to someone. Or this is just an opportunity to, which what seems like this reading is largely focused on, to work on the relationship with yourself by communicating with yourself. And I find that really good ways to do that are the things like meditating and journaling. But if those don't sound right for you, I do encourage you to find what does. So that way you're really clear with yourself about how you feel, what you're thinking, and maybe even what you really believe about yourself, about the universe. Some really deep things here. Number 3 can also be about healing and growing, and I definitely feel that there is an opportunity here for you to do that. Overall, this number has been a call for you to have trust and faith in yourself, the number 1146, and, encouragement from your ancestors to keep finding peace and stability in your life, knowing and trusting that it is bigger than you, as well as a message here for you to really love and respect yourself and what you deserve, so you can have a healthier relationship with yourself, to be able to find peace and to walk away from people and situations that aren't good for you, and to allow you to just trust yourself more and to have faith in yourself more. You deserve to feel empowered, not disempowered and depleted and exhausted, especially emotionally. Remember at the beginning, we talked about how change starts with you and trusting that everything happens for a reason. So that really just feels like a reinforcement there, that whatever you're going through, whatever peace you're trying to find, whatever you're trying to let go, find closure with, it really is bigger than you, and it really does mean something, both because you deserve it, you deserve to go about your everyday life without dwelling on things that make you unhappy, and you can have a positive impact on somebody too. So you can see that there are many cards on the table right now, These are the Prisma Visions Tarot. These are a box of cards that I made and wrote on myself. And these are a deck of index cards that I also made and wrote on myself. And I am going to start with the tarot cards here. It says flying. Maybe there's something here about spreading your wings, taking a leap of faith. For me personally, it reminded me of that scene from Titanic where Jack and Rose are standing at the front of the ship and she goes, "I'm flying." I don't know. Only, maybe there's some messages in that story for you, what happens in that movie. I know some people do receive messages through movies. I know that I can sometimes. But also only take that message about flying, obviously metaphorically, if you feel called to. But it could also be literal. If you feel called to travel on an airplane or something, or to fly somewhere. Let's draw out one of these tarot cards to get more clarity about the messages that need to come through for you right now. Yeah. I have the 10 of Wands here with the zodiac sign of Sagittarius and the element of fire. There's a planet symbol right there. Kind of looks like a T mixed with an R. It's not really going to focus, I don't think. So that first, and there it goes. You can look that up if you feel called to, but I did feel connected to the name Sharon. Maybe even Sheridan. I first want to talk about the number 10 and how that number can both be about the presence of your spirit guides, maybe confirmation for this reading, or just to help bring that to your awareness, and them specifically bringing you the message to have a trust and faith in yourself. It feels like they are making their presence known to reinforce the messages that I've already talked about with the number 1 when I talked about 1146. Really trust what your intuition is guiding you to do, whatever you feel called to do, and believe in your ability to do it, to make it happen. Believe in your strength, your ability to move through change with grace. And moving through change with grace is not about moving through it perfectly, not struggling psychologically or spiritually. It's not about that. It's about giving yourself the grace, the patience, and the space that you need to process the heavy feelings if they're there, if you need to. Especially if the change is particularly difficult, this could be a powerful call for you to move through this with grace. And since this is a 10 of Wands and really feels like the end of a long road, it really could be difficult. Maybe you had high hopes, and maybe there will be a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, maybe some anger, or even some numbness. And the more intense that the negative feelings are, the more there is a need for you to be patient and understanding towards yourself, so you can work through these thoughts and these feelings in a healthy way that empowers you and helps you maintain your hope and your faith, so you don't give up, and you keep trying and you keep learning and growing. And I feel like that's an important aspect, of allowing yourself to keep trying, is to allow yourself to keep growing every time you feel like you failed or something has failed you. It's okay to acknowledge if something failing isn't your fault, but it's also okay if to acknowledge that if it is your fault, it just feels like it's important to learn and to grow. Kind of like what I was talking about with the number 3, the opportunity to heal and to grow is here, and this will allow you to become wiser and stronger, both intuitively and psychologically. Let's go ahead and move on to getting one of these cards from this box over here. The card that I have grabbed, it says messages. I should put it this way. Yeah. Yeah, we have the Fool here. I'm ready and excited. And maybe you don't feel excited right now because change is difficult. Endings are difficult. But what you can do is, still look forward to what is still to come. It feels like even though there's a difficult loss here, there's a really exciting opportunity afterward. That's what the Fool is all about. A brand new, big beginning, a big journey. And if this is about losing a relationship, this big journey doesn't have to be about a relationship. And if you're losing a relationship, it could be about moving into another relationship. But just make sure you are giving yourself, no matter what this is about, time and space to grieve and to move on in a healthy way that makes you wiser instead of being comfortable in what you don't know. Ignorance, to put it more plainly. But let's go ahead and get one of these index cards now. It's actually kind of crazy how clearly there is a message here about some sort of transition. Actually, I had a couple of these fall out. Let's show one, and I'll decide if I want to show the other. You decide. This is really recognition here again of the power that you have in some sort of situation. I'm going to show the other one. Something feels so scarce. So let's put this up here. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you can see the cards, that's all that matters. But you do have a choice here to make. And it seems like the right choice is whatever is going to make you feel less burdened, a lot less burdened, even if it might be difficult to choose that. I think once you make it to the other side of the pain that might come of walking away from someone or something, there's still more to look forward to. There really is still more to look forward to. So I really encourage you to see this as an opportunity to grow and to heal, to express yourself, to show it more authentically, and honestly, to create more peace and stability in your life as your ancestors are encouraging you to do, to really love yourself so you can have more trust and faith in yourself. Like I said before, this feels like such a powerful call for you. Just have grace for yourself. So you're focusing less on what you can't control and staying stuck, and more on what you can control and allowing yourself to move forward and to keep going. I want to talk about this something feels so scarce card here. This is really reminding me of a lack mindset. And I know it can be hard to not focus on what you don't have when you may be experiencing some sort of loss right now. But when you're ready, I feel like it's important to shift your focus from what is lost to what has been gained. And I feel like what you're going to gain from this, it can definitely be material. It depends on your situation, but I can say with confidence that it is going to be psychological and spiritual, and it is just as valuable, if not more valuable, as any material, tangible thing. Especially if you're really interested in all the spiritual stuff, this is a really great opportunity to connect deeper with your faith, your religion, spiritual mysticism, whatever you believe in or whatever higher power you are curious about. Overall, this reading has been a call for you to be the change that you wish to see, to trust that this transition is happening for a reason. It is an opportunity for you to learn and to grow, and as your ancestors seem to be pointing out to me, to teach and to share something. Maybe there's something significant here about your story that is worth sharing. Again, I'm feeling connected to the name Sharon, Sharron. It doesn't have to be spelled exactly like that though. But allow yourself to choose peace and stability. That's what your past loved ones want for you. And I feel like they also want you to connect with them in any way that you feel called to. right now. Take this as an opportunity to express yourself, to communicate with yourself, with others, to show up more honestly, more authentically, and to heal, and to grow. I saw another sign there to trust that everything happens for a reason with 543. I feel like there's something really important and valuable here that you can learn, that you could really benefit from. And I'm seeing the number 555 on the 10, confirmation there of change and transformation. So allow yourself to move through this change with grace, so you can allow yourself to move on with a healthier mindset. Choose to move on with a healthier mindset, so that way, whenever some brand new opportunity, major opportunity presents itself to you, you're ready to go into it with clarity and an open mind instead of confusion and expectations that may disappoint you. You deserve to embrace some sort of opportunity in the future with an open mind. You really do.